What's up, everybody? Today we're discussing America's pastime. Bunch of guys taking turns swinging wood. We're going to talk about the best seat in the house, the coveted Cuck chair. Now, we joke a lot about the Cuck chair as a society. I think it's something that we've talked more and more about in the last couple years. But me personally, I have a, closer connection to the Cuck chair, just by way of travel. See, I'm on the road a lot for stand-up. And by the way, I will be in Austin and San Diego this week. And then Salt Lake City after that. Buy a ticket at noelmillerlive.com. I see a lot of Cuck chairs when I'm on the road. Recently, I was in San Francisco, and you would expect this in San Francisco. I had the pleasure of observing a Cuck lounge. It was a beautiful setup, bench-style seat with a view, and believe it or not, a dartboard. I think what made this Cuck lounge special is that you get to lay almost next to your wife, and you both get a chance at a bullseye, if you know what I mean. And I said that joke only one time, and it landed perfect.
And the two of you are getting a bullseye, if you know what I mean. You and your wife, you're positioned almost... I think what made this Cuck lounge
For real though, I see a lot of Cuck chairs when I'm on the road. And I was surprised on YouTube, I searched Cuck chair tier list, and I haven't seen anyone do this. So I thought, we'll review some classics. You might be familiar with some of these. Others might be a rare sighting to you. But I see plenty of these, and I'm a bit of a Cuck chair sommelier, you know? I don't always partake, but I have sampled a lot. I've sat in plenty. I can give you an honest review of these things because I've been to a lot of these places, all right? Now I'm thinking about a Cuck who keeps a slick little Cuck chair on ice, you know? He keeps it in a small closet, kind of like a wine fridge. And when it's Cuck time, he goes, "Hey, pal, don't worry. I got a nice cold one for me. You get to work." You want the cold chair to kind of cool off your nuts. It keeps the excitement lasting. Anyways, that's enough yap. Now, thanks to our lovely algorithm machine right here, we have pulled the 15 best Cuck chairs on the internet to exist right now. We'll go ahead and rate them 10 out of 10 horns. Let's get after it. Ah, yes, the classic, the executive Cuck chair. I've seen many of these. They are Wall Street style. That's what we officially call them in the business, Wall Street style. They're very popular in the 80s because what would end up happening is businessmen would like to count their money, sometimes do accounting, or even preparing paper trades for Monday morning. And they're busy guys, and they know their wife needs pleasure. Their mindset is more, it's less sexual, it's more outsourcing. So a lot of the times these are set up facing the bed. The position is very clear behind the bull's anus and the wife's anus. I'm speaking scientifically because that's more of what the process is for the executive Cuck chair. It's more just satisfying the relationship, you know, input, output. Okay. It's a bit mathematical. It's not that fun. They might be, just writing down a ledger with a pencil. Just give it a lick. "Babe, is it good? He looks all right from back here, but I just can't tell. You let me you let me know if you're enjoying it, okay? Got a couple guys in the lobby if this is no good. You just let me know, okay? What's that? Oh, you need some water, buddy? Help yourself in the fridge. Sorry, man. I just got to take care of a few of these things here. You get how it is. You're at work. I'm at work. You know the deal. What's nice about the executive Cuck chair is it's usually accompanied by sort of a textured carpet. The intention is to sit barefoot because of the excitement, which you typically will feel, gets down to the toes. You can kind of grip into the floor, to kind of maintain that excitement. The width of the desk is nice as well, as you can kind of push your work over. You can kind of lean in and get a good look at what's happening. You notice that, again, it's positioned behind. You're sort of just observing from the back. It's not really an involved viewing experience. You have the ability to check in and out. It's more like a sporting event. I rate the executive Cuck chairs a solid 8 out of 10 horns, just because even if you're not cucking, I think it's just a great workspace in general. There's something nice about viewing your sleeping quarters as you're working away. You know it's right there for you when you're done with your work. Chief Operating Cuck. I like that, man. There should be at least 2 more seats for commenting. Davis, he's really hammering it home there. You don't see bowls with shoulders this wide anymore. It tends to be a burden. Bowls in our day, they tend to work out. A lot of lateral raises. Yeah, a lot of lateral raises. But you find that the modern bowl, you want to be a bit lean. Oh, he's getting ready to pull out. Let's have a look at this. Now this one, what a harrowing image, dude. You're laying there trying to have fun, and you peer out between the elbow and the thigh of your lovely bowl, and there's your husband, just top lit, no lights on the eyes, just brow sharp, just bridge of nose visible, darkness. Hard to know if he likes it. This setup is a bit dramatic. I think the small table, you could tell it's not designed for work. Maybe you're sitting here eating a meal. Traditionally, this is more of a French cuck chair. The idea, again, is to have a nice steak, maybe steak frites, as your wife is having fun. This is more of a detached experience. You notice the angle position. It's just occasionally to kind of lean in and see the emotion between the two. It's a little bit more profile. But really the focus here, the rest of the room is dim because the focus is your meal. So the love that your wife is experiencing is more of it's more background noise. It's not necessarily something that you're supposed to directly enjoy. Really, it's the most intimate podcast maybe that you could experience. I think that's really the idea behind this cuck chair. As someone who has seen this setup many times, I rate this one 2 out of 10 horns. Really not enough workspace for me. Sometimes I like to work off my laptop. You notice the chair height relative to the table height. It's not really designed for that. It's kind of a submissive thing. Your hands are kind of supposed to be low. And that doesn't work for me if I just want to play Factorio on my laptop. It's not really ideal. Anyways, moving on. Now... They give you the Holy Bible and a small towel to bite on. This is more of a self-flagellation type experience. This is, you're right up in it. You're right up in it. The sounds, the power, the pressure, You're supposed to two-hand that Bible. You bite down. That little thing right there is just a small towel. You kind of... Because you're going to cry. That's the thing, is you're going to cry. Because all that sound as the cheeks... clap. Once the cracking commences, the sound reverberates on these walls, and they're all targeted at your earlobes. That's why you sit in the corner. That's even why they got a window next to your right ear, because they want that sound to come off the window and just into your eardrum. This in the cuck community, they call this a break room. Okay, this might be for the guy that's trepid. He knows he wants it, but he doesn't know how to dive in. This is how you just go full force. God is there to assist you in your journey, but you're going to get right in it. Me personally, I rate this room 1 out of 10 horns. A chair in this context for me as a lowly traveler is useless. Maybe I could put a backpack on there, but again, not a great workspace to play Factorio. Laptop on the bed, you're kind of leaned over. Not my thing. The design of this cuck chair is also meant to emulate, sort of early Catholic experiences, right? Where it's just there's no, again, the caption nails it. Can't get too comfy. Can't get too comfy. You don't and you can't. This is one where you can't check out on the performance. You are required to be engaged. You are watching. You are watching every second of this. Sit up and focus. Now, this next one is a personal favorite of mine. I've seen this a few times. I've not had the pleasure of staying in a hotel with this as such, but my God. From the makers of Cuck Chair, I present for your viewing pleasure, Cuck Observation Deck. Now, what I like about this is it's cruise style, You're elevated. And look at this. You have the lounger, but you have the workspace as well. So it's a beautiful combo of business and pleasure. Again, it's got some of those executive tones. You can be kind of, just doing your thing, writing in your journal. Maybe you're working on a novel. You can just kind of glance over. Hey, babe, you good? Okay. The seating position is just like you and your wife are supposed to be able to meet parallel, depending on how she's laid up on that bed. You might get a look at her toes, or you might get a look at her eyeballs. You can just kind of connect briefly for that moment. And you get back to work. But then you can step away from that work and have yourself, this is almost like a cigar lounge of a cuck chair. You can kind of post up and, I like the wrought iron fence. It gives it a bit of a voyeur feel. And you just kind of gaze through, blow down a cigarette or a joint and just kind of vibe out. You can turn that light down behind you and just... Nice. It's nice to see her happy. Watching your girl get pounded from the nosebleeds is crazy. This chair is green on SeatGeek, dude. As green as it gets. That's a good deal, dude. Oh, but you notice? You notice? You got the nosebleed cuck, but then right there in the foreground, you got the floor seats. So if you decide to upgrade, you can get courtside on the pounding. Yo, fuck. Hands clasped behind the back, pacing the deck back. I be calling out moves like I'm in a Pokemon battle. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Honey, reverse cowgirl now!
Oh my god, I know we need to move on from the Cuckservation deck, but now I just thought about a bunch of motherfuckers in there sports betting on the bull like a like a fucking horse racing booth. They got a small TV on there. They're watching cuck feeds from other countries. They're betting on who's going to finish first. They're looking over at the stallion over there. They're going, yeah, I don't know, man. He's got another 10 minutes, but fuck. Let's put 200 on the guy in Japan. I think, man, he's just looking good. I mean, the pumps are just like consistent. They're just... I've seen this guy go to work before, dude. I mean, he's got great rhythm, and he's young. He's only like 23, and he just stays in it, So, fuck, he busted. Damn it. Fuck. Yeah. Yeah, I had 300 on him. Fucking hell. That double down go through? Son of a bitch, bro. I'm out 750 on that. Fuck. Now, speaking of riding, okay? We always think of the cuck chair in a relaxed fashion. But what if I told you you could ride while your missus was riding? Just creating a lasso and getting the bull and pulling him off, establishing some dominance. Oh, I didn't even give the last one a rating. 10 out of 10 horns for the Cuckservation deck, of course. Now, this next one is no frills, dude. This one is, you really love the game. You really love the game. You want to be seen and you want to watch. You're an exhibition in this. It's almost not even about the bull and your wife. It's about you. This is a bit different from the other one, that leans a bit more French. This one is... You see me looking. The patterned leather back is really designed for you to sit there and be able to relax, but also focus. And you notice the position. It's right there at the genitals. So you're watching it. And you're observing it. I also like the position from the door. Someone could walk in and see the lady laying on the bed. Hi, how are you? Oh, fuck.
Hi.
Goated spot, completely wasted by a subpart. Chat, is this cuck chair goated? Let me know in the comments. You know what? People are ranking this one low. I'm gonna say this is 5 out of 10 horns. I'm not gonna say it's terrible. I'm just gonna call it, maybe we go 6 out of 10. It's just a little subpar. Maybe the folks are right. You could do a little something with this more than the chair. It's just like cheapening out. You have this really great setup. Yeah, you're right, but you could have like a lot more amenities, it's obviously starting with the better chair. You maybe have just like an assortment of snacks, maybe a bunch of toys that you want to see him use, maybe things that you want the bull to do. You just throw a gag ball in there. It's like, put that on, champ. Thank you very much. A vuvuzela on the wall. Just, Now this next one, this person believes that this is Cuck Chair of the Year. I'm not going to say that, but I will say this is probably the most well-designed Cuck Chair. I think I've never seen something this well-intentioned. Let's have a look. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. So much to unpack here. First of all, the design, gorgeous. This lovely sort of cozy mid-century feel. The materials on the chair, painful, intentionally painful. I love the sound dampening blanket. You have the choice to go voyeur and just sort of subtle pleasure. Just the soft, almost just like, rain on a window. Just a soft, just... And then when you feel so inclined, it's almost like, you're stepping into the light. You can slide that curtain back and there you are. Eyes to anus. You're just witnessing it in all its glory. And you're tucked away, so you're not really part of the scene. Which I think as a cuck, that's probably what you want to be. You want to feel maybe a bit disconnected. You want her to forget about you because you're not good enough to be there. And that you really want to feel that deep and close in your heart. You just shut yourself in there and let her do her thing. You just cry if you want. 10 out of 10 horns on this one. This is probably the most depressing chair I think I've seen potentially in my life. This has been described to me as the John Wilkes Booth of cuck chairs, which is an A1 bit. Shout out to you, Garrett, man. That is fucking hilarious. Although you might actually call this appropriately the Abe Lincoln chair. Let's have a look at the Abe Lincoln seat of cuck chairs. You're in the fucking Hereditary treehouse watching your lady get pounded out. That's so crazy, man. You're just up there looming. Man, it's so recessed into the ceiling. You could just sit there and let the acoustics wash over you. That slanted ceiling, you just let the float to the top of the room and you just stare across the room. You can't even see what's happening. You just let it in your mind contemplate what's going on and just lock yourself in mentally to where you're not allowed to engage. You can only imagine. I will say, yeah, this is a John Wilkes Booth setup, because if you're so inclined, you could just have them off you from the back. You can just fall into it and make it a traumatic thing. This is Cuckold, directed by Ari Aster. Yeah, this next one they took right out of the Men in Black set. Holy shit. Cheeky egg cuck chair with bonus porthole. Let's see it. Ooh. Just looking through that thing like a sailor. I'm gonna rate this cuck chair 6 out of 10. Just because it feels like a chair that's either in a hotel lobby or a startup. I do like the porthole feature. I just wish it maybe had more of a closing mechanism because maybe you want to focus on work. I question how comfortable that chair is because I've sat in many an egg chair and they're not always great. Sometimes they're just awkward. And the closed offness, I don't know. It's like a weird in between. It doesn't fully close you off from the world. It doesn't give you that seclusion that you might be looking for. It all kind of feels like a blue ball, which is good in the context of cucking. But I think the porthole is almost too big. It almost gives too much away. I'd even say make it smaller. Get a look at it, like you're gazing onto a beautiful constellation. A wonderful amalgamation of energy and stars that comes together to make love. And in that long, far away galaxy, that's someone near and dear to your heart, and she's having a good time. I didn't think cuck chairs could offer this much entertainment, but here we are. Let's go ahead and close it out with our final cuck chair. With the massagers, man. The $5 massage machine at the airport they got in the corner with that wonderful view. I mean, that is awesome. You could kind of just drop out with that. Your lady's getting pleasured up and you're just... I have to say, 10 out of 10 horns on this. The utility is unreal. Typically, cuck chairs, they tend to be a bit stiff, and even when they can be relaxed in, you don't get full comfort and luxury like this. You can't just wake up from a massage and see them both lounged out, and you're like, oh shit, I passed out. Are you guys finished? All right, my bad. You could even cuck the bull a little bit by falling asleep to what he's doing. What? Oh, sorry, bro. You're no better than the massage, honestly. If I'm being real, dude, you were just all right. Oh man, I wonder how many cucks have done that. Dude has sex with his wife, he wraps up and he's like, hey man, we square? He's like, yeah. Like, what's up? It's like, I'm gonna be honest, man, I'm gonna cut your rate a little bit. What the fuck? What? I don't know. I paid you $500. When I pay $500, I sort of have an expectation. She doesn't seem very tired, and you only went twice. I'm wondering how many cucks, like, they kind of lock all this in. They get the hotel room, they plant into the chair, and then as soon as Buddy's about to go to it, he's like, wait, okay, just maybe we don't do this. Now I'm even wondering if there's ever been a cuck where the cuck and the wife are annoyed with the bull. That's fucking awkward. You go there to, put it down on some lady, and she's looking bored, and she's looking at her husband, and he's like, I don't know, babe, I'm sorry. And she's like, this is not good. And he goes, yeah, let's just, hey, buddy, go ahead and pull it out. Look, dude, you're a nice guy, but honestly, horrendous form. I just, if you want, you just go whack it off in the shower, but just please be on your way. Just keep the money. This is just upsetting to me, dude. You kind of just, like, you really overpromised on this. Well, guys, maybe there's a reason this video doesn't exist on YouTube. Or maybe we do more. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.